Let's begin tonight by closing the eyes and sitting comfortably. Knowing that it's okay, if needed, to just simply lie flat or lean your body up against the wall or some sort of lower lumbar support. And as we enter ourselves into a comfortable seat, we want to begin to recognize the body's natural direction towards achieving a meditative state. So what simply happens first as you begin to rest the body onto itself? As you establish your comfort, and then ultimately your relaxation. Surrendering the active component of the experience within your mind to that sensation and spaciousness which is coming through comfort and relaxation. Recognizing any other experience which is occurring within that comfort and relaxation as being a strengthening of your meditation. No matter what it is, let's see if we can simply maintain conscious awareness into the spaciousness which manifests through your comfort and relaxation. Through our meditation technique, we are learning how to trust. Learning how to trust ourselves. And the direction which we choose. begin to notice the natural movement within your breathing. And follow its pathway, observing the nuances as the pathway of the breath manifests into a sensation. A sensation which occurs within your body for a very specific reason. And through our direct experience and cultivated relationship with this sensation of breath, we begin to learn why. Why are we born with this ability to track, observe our breathing? Through the manifestation of this rhythmic sensation, hone and develop your attention. Honing your attention on a single subject. A single task. Allowing the breath which draws so strongly your attention to aid in the development of your concentration. As it moves more deeply into a quality of space found within this breath. Quality of space which is void of thought. Feel the sensation of your breathing as it pulls your attention to the very edges of your body. Leaving you with a wholesome and balanced sensation. recognizing any activity within your meditation as already happened, and simply let go of any attachment to that which you see, to that which you feel, and rather cultivate an awareness of the spaciousness which exists between that which has already happened and the observer. Allowing the natural ability of your breathing to cultivate attention. Begin to consciously hone your concentration so that this concentration is able to gaze into the space just there. Allowing your concentration to expand, to fill your entire body's worth of surface area, and through all your senses, concentrate the effort towards this spaciousness found just there in front of you, inside of you, and all around you. Experiencing mind's concentration through the entire surface area of your physical body. allowing the relaxation and attention to pull like a weight, grounding the activity of the mind, enabling us to let go and feel the harmonious balance which manifests through our meditation practice. Applying your concentration through all of your senses. See into and through the space that you feel. Connecting to the most subtle of subtle sensations within that space. Connect to that dynamic quality within that space. The subtle vibration of action. The universal tool of manifestation. Connect within that dynamic stillness to your authentic direction. A direction that to the normal operating mind is undetectable. A direction that is so pure and so strong that it is unmovable. A knowing, an inkling, sometimes rather than a full understanding of what it is. Begin to get to know this subtlety of direction so that you're able to rest into the fact that you are held and you are guided. Strengthening the bond to this clear direction through proving to yourself that it exists. Proving to yourself through direct experience. Considering anything which is not this quality of subtle direction within your meditation as being a developmental step, which is prompting and teaching you to let go, to redirect, to cultivate your relaxation, attention, and concentration towards that subtle quality of space just there in front of you, inside of you, and all around you. Within that subtle quality is a continuous beacon which shines the light for then you to follow. Keeping the eyes closed, let's bring full deep breaths into the body. And now place your gaze into the space just there in front of you, engaging the soft intensity of the gaze, so that this quality of space is uninterrupted. And this is very, very literal instruction. Uninterrupted by any thought. Starting now. Keeping the eyes closed, softening the gaze. And very slowly, gently, allow the eyes to open. And just take your time. Stay in this quality of space which you manifested. And allow yourself to be in this simplification of a technique, resting into body comfort. And through this avenue of comfort, we establish relaxation, attention of breathing, concentration of mind, and that subtle relationship to a direction. That direction is your true north, exactly where you're going, and ultimately where you already are. Developing the simplicity of this technique to enable you to recognize the quality of space which already exists, which is already whole and complete. And using the technique to strengthen the ability to observe this quality of space, uninterrupted by anything. And in order to do that, we must cultivate the strength of your observation. In order to strengthen this quality of observation, we must invoke one's own will, realizing that this manifestation of a distraction is based upon your own doing, your own allowing. This allowing has been given its strength from such a level of subtlety, such a depth of subconscious that it feels as though it is out of our control. And we're getting closer. Every day we're getting closer to the understanding and then ultimate realization that you have the strength, you have the power to simply become very quiet and to consciously dissolve that which is no longer needed on a permanent level, permanently letting it go. And develop and cultivate that which you know is strengthening you, that which you know is for you, so that then it is maintained and sustained. Sustained without any wavering. So no more yo-yo. We are getting closer every day. And the achievement of that is based upon this ability to recognize that you are the one who is in this position of discernment. You are the one who is in the position of discernment, which means we are cultivating an ability to listen to that good instruction which comes from deep inside of you, which is connected like a thread through relaxation of body, through attention of breath, through concentration of mind, to the direction found within the most dynamic of subtlety within that stillness. Good intended direction based upon that which you truly want, which you truly need, which comes through you on a consistent basis. So from morning to night, 24 hours, it is the beacon. It exists as instruction through the aspects of your day which you know is right, but seldom listen fully. And if we fall into that category of seldom listening fully, then we are not being the best students we possibly could. Not to anyone external, but to that deep internal place. And that's really what we want to cultivate. We want to get to a place where we can successfully go from morning, the time we open our eyes and finish our meditation, till night, the time where we close our eyes back into meditation before going to sleep, successfully following that instruction, that very understood, well-intended clarity. We just take it one day at a time. And then that will grow into 2 days of being able to listen to that instruction and follow it. And then 3 days, and then 4 days. And whenever we are not able to, catching ourselves and resting into the fact that at this point we are either strengthening our ability to relax into the instruction, develop attention around that instruction, concentration with that instruction, or direction with that instruction. Just accepting the fact that that which you see, which is pulling you away, is actually helping you, not hindering you. But is this realization, this spatial awareness, that gives us back our power and strength. So we can just simply watch it. Watching it through the eye of our practice, technically. And then watching it through our eye in our dynamic relationship of practice as we move throughout our day. Keeping it within that simplicity. Owning the fact that you are who you are. owning the fact that, yes, you have cultivated these tendencies and habits, whether they are for you or against you at this moment in time, it doesn't really matter, because that is a cultivation of an attitude internally towards one's smaller forms of self, this ego development of self. And accepting that all effort which is produced by you is effort towards that direction, ultimate direction. One is either strengthening and cultivating your resolve, or the other is speeding you along because you're now resting into that power of resolve and strength. So there's no wrong turn. It just simply is at your feet and waiting for you to develop that piece. So beautiful. It's so beautiful how we've orchestrated ourselves and manifested a very specific relationship and attitude which fits inside this vessel. Simply complicated and beautifully designed. Any questions? And we can take our time, there's no rush. See if anything comes up as a question. Practicing comfortable silence.
Rameen Peyrow. Very practical question is, because I've been practicing that hip opener and stuff, I'm finding that certain parts of my body really have these shooting pains. So I sit maybe 15, 20 minutes and then discomfort comes in and my mind starts going crazy and then I come out of my absorption. Is it better just to lie down, or just how does one deal with the body and the mind, assuming the body's telling it something that, hey, this hurts, don't sit like that?
So this shooting pain is manifesting from your hip openers?
Yeah, from in this point in here. Yeah.
From the actual, like from the posture itself, from doing postures it's hurting?
Yeah,
Well, that's something that we will need to address more thoroughly after.
Okay.
But if the body is feeling uncomfortable and you recognize that you're able to sit for 15 minutes and then it becomes uncomfortable, then the easiest thing to do is to create a more optimal seat for yourself from the very beginning so that you can sit comfortably for longer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the easy route.
That's the easy route.
Yeah.
Get comfort right from the beginning. Because I love the effect that when you're meditating for a period of time, you seem to go in stages. Like there seems
That's
like after 20 minutes you start to reach some point. I don't know what that point is, but after an hour it becomes like, whew,
That's
what
right.
was that? Right? So I'd like to go there, but my body's pulling me this way and that way right now, and I'm not sure, other than just what you said. Maybe lie down, I suppose.
You can lie down.
Okay.
Or you can simply sit and observe. But we have to ensure that the sensation which you're feeling is not sharp. If it's really sharp,
Yeah, it's sharp.
yeah, then you want to shift your position.
Okay.
All
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Namaste. Thank you for that meditation. I needed it.
Wonderful.
I need some clarification. You talked several times tonight and other times about spaciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that's the same as the Buddhist concept of emptiness, or is this something different?
Same.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hey, Rameen. I'm finding that I'm able to kind of connect more emotionally in my day-to-day interactions and clear my mind of thought.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to before I started exploring this new area, I feel like I'm not remembering fine details. And I don't know if it's necessarily detrimental I'm not remembering them. It just feels different. I'm remembering a kind of a sense of things, and I'm kind of putting a lot of stuff together. But before, I felt like I could remember like the finest, smallest things. Now I don't feel like I need to remember that. Is that normal, you think, or?
And when you say remembering, you mean from the class or just in your day-to-day?
Yeah, just in my day-to-day.
But it doesn't feel like it's hindering you at all?
It doesn't, no. It feels like before there was too much
Mm-hmm.
attention to those things.
Mm-hmm.
And now it feels like my attention's better directed, and it
Mm-hmm.
feels like there's it's less intense.
Mm-hmm.
It takes less energy.
The streamlining.
Yes.
I think that's very good. The streamlining of awareness, and quite truthfully, we intake so much, and we really do not need to look at all of it. So as we highlight what's really important for us to remember and retain, that's perfect, and we can just leave the rest. And if you truly need it, it will come back. Mm-hmm. So I think this is very good. Movement forward. That's part of the relaxation. Not needing to hold so much tight control, but rather you are already held within that understanding.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. I think control was a big part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good.
I had a feeling of weakness and frailty in the space that I created for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering how I can change my interpretation of that to feeling peaceful and relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Allowing yourself to keep accessing the byproducts of your sit. Just let it come up and clear out, up and clear out. And know that that which you are experiencing is giving you clear understanding of that which you want to cultivate and that which you want to let go of. So it's coming through you to let go of. So allow that frailty just to move through, but then begin to build your posture of strength through the avenue of comfort and relaxation. And use that technique, building your breath, your strength of breath through the avenue of attention, your strength of mind through the avenue of concentration, your strength of spatial understanding and direction through that subtle dynamic stillness. And recognize that this frailty is aiding in your development.
Thank you. If it's too intense, like to the point where I feel like I'm going to pass out, should I lie down until it moves through me? And
most definitely.
If it's taking too long to move through me, is it something I should do?
Breathing. And then right at the center, so literally at the central axis, use a visualization technique where you see a goldeny white light straight from the very center. And then watch and feel as you promote through your breathing that radiant light moving outwards to the edges of the body and then filling the space around you. And just keep that healing going.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All of life is one profound healing. So whatever passes my way, no matter what it is, I have a spatial awareness and understanding that I am observing, and my choice is to heal. Continuously healing, 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 everything and anything which passes my way. Embodying that, resting into that, experiencing it, and enjoying the fact that this is a large reason why we're here. Using to the best of your ability the technique, simplified, relaxation of body, attention of breath, concentration of mind, and direction of dynamic stillness as a tool to hone the ability to observe, to witness one thing at a time. One subject, one object. Focused. And then consciously decide it's time to move on. Spending 3 to 5 to 10 minutes on each one of those steps until you hit the dynamic stillness. And for dynamic stillness, sit for as long as you'd like. But the value found within this ability to decide I'm looking here, I'm feeling here, and now I choose to let go and move on is profound. The value that we are cultivating is profound because we're able to now create a choice mechanism within the experience of the mind in relation to our thought, in relation to our emotion, in relation to so many aspects which we've cultivated within our personality. So that then we become much more quick in realizing that we have arrived, we are here, it's here, it is now, we're resting in here, now. And that is a manifestation, yes, but it's also a figment of an imagination, a profound imagination, which can be used in whatever direction which we so choose. Any final questions?
You've mentioned being aware of who we really are and true self, perhaps. And I've also heard that emptiness in Buddhism also refers to emptiness of self. So there seems to be a bit of a paradox, perhaps. So what would you say about true self, or who we really are, or emptiness of self?
Both one and the same thing. Because this authentic experience of self is cultivating an ability to be in a pure form. So if we were looking at a crystal, that this crystal would very purely reflect that light which was coming towards it. So if we look at an individual, whatever is coming towards that individual, reflecting the purest experience and expression which is coming towards it back. So the manifestation as it occurs inside is no longer a distortion of the reality, based upon past experience, based upon already filled space. And the engagement of that ability enables the mind to retain its settled qualities, which then begins to manifest higher levels of attainment within the frequency. So this vibration of space that exists in the hollow space around us is the same as this hollow space inside of us, but this nothingness that we talk about in the form of dynamic stillness or authentic self is actually filled with something. But it's getting to the place of being able to witness the purity and lack of attachment that it has to any one thing, object, space, time. It just simply is.
Thank you.
Very welcome. So the ability to see reality for what it truly is. Your reality for what it truly is. I believe the Buddhists also share in the practice of unbiasedness. So with using a technique, we're able to house the experience, to engage with that which is aiding in our development. Meaning, if I'm sitting and resting at the level of physical within the technique, then that which is manifesting from my body physically, I am unbiased towards the experience which is occurring. So the experience could be ecstatic, or the experience can be challenged, but we look at it as being one and the same, simply an experience. To get to that place is cultivation, the cultivation of one's attitude towards oneself and their experiences, towards one's mind and the emotion and the thought and the personality which manifests when confronted with that sensation which we do not want to experience. And that is the delicate holding of it all. So how to hold something with such strength and force that it will never be let down, but at the same time holding with such lightness and softness that if it wishes to go, it'll go. If it wishes to stay, it'll stay. So not choosing either or, but knowing the direction which is true for you. And instead of attempting to engage or create some scenario to get rid of, instead we are embracing all parts that are making up who we are today as fuel, as instruction, as encouragement towards us being able to see through it, and the fact that this is nothing but space. This is just space at its core. But this ability to see the nothingness within something which is absolutely solid then translates into every other aspect of your human experience. So that which is biting, or that which has barbs, or that which is so dense and heavy, we can always see the hollowness within it, that nothing exists there at all, until we give it attention, until we attach something to this, that you are looking at, that you are experiencing. So before that, it is void. Realizing that you create that which you see because you're giving it meaning. So you are allowed to give whatever meaning you want to that which you see. But ultimately, we want to get away of deciding what is that meaning and simply seeing the truth of the meaning as it manifests itself. Just like how we want to be seen for who we are, all objects and subjects within our reality act in that same way. We're going the right direction, and we are understanding more and more every day how our will plays a huge role, our decision making plays a huge role in this ability to recognize how to let go, how to see through, and how to move on. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your evening. Namaste.